Welcome everybody. Another episode of the Centre Circle podcast. Slightly different format today. We're doing this over the great internet. I'm joined by Key and Terrell. How's it going, boys?
What's happening?
Not bad. What's up?
We couldn't get together in the room for Christmas, but there was things to talk about, so we thought we'll jump on the waves of technology and get it going.
Consistency, innit? Consistency.
Indeed. Episode 41. Today we're going to cover Wolves and Chelsea. Chelsea stumble yet again. Is it time for questions about Poch's tenure? Spurs versus Everton. Burnley finally grabbing a win down at Fulham. And the clash of the Titans. Liverpool versus Arsenal. And on top of that, we've got a few topics to discuss. Outrageous red card for Boly today. Odegaard's Harlem Globetrotters moment at the Liverpool Arsenal game, and the saviour Jim Ratcliffe has ridden into town in Manchester. So yeah, without any further ado, Wolves Chelsea, Wolves 2, Chelsea 1. Another loss for Wolves, away loss. Boys, what are we saying now? Well, did anyone watch the game firstly?
I didn't catch the game.
No, I didn't see it.
So yeah, I caught the highlights. I mean, first things first, Raheem Sterling had a chance very early on, so it's been a mistake. It's 3-on-1. The one was the goalkeeper. He went to slot it in, and the goalkeeper saved it.
Yeah,
Cole
I saw
Palmer
that.
and Kunku were not happy.
Yeah, I think the person he should have passed to was Palmer. But you can understand, like, if you're 1v1, you kind of want to take it on. But as I said previously, Sterling's one-on-one finishing isn't the best.
Was they right next to him, or was he just on his own kind of one-on-one?
No, T.
They were next
three
to
of us in line.
A freeze frame, but I don't know how real the freeze frame was. How
the freeze frame is kind.
Fair enough.
When you watch it, he rolls it to Cole Palmer, and he just or Nkunku is like, put it this way: if you rolled it to Cole Palmer and Cole Palmer messed it up, Nkunku would have still been able to score. So
yeah, he should have just passed the ball basically.
And at that point, it's
right.
So
that was at 0-0, right?
Yeah, exactly. I was about to say. So that's at 0-0. That puts Chelsea 1-0 up, and then you go 2-0 down basically. After that, Lemina scores a header. In the second half. So that happened in the first half. Gonna play the rest of the game. Lemina scores ahead in the second half. And then McDoherty, again, 93rd minute, kind of seals the game. So you're kind of thinking 1-0, the guys would have pushed on there. So it's not a good one, man. It's not a good one at all. And then Nkunku scores his first Chelsea goal, first Premier League start, first Chelsea goal, probably a little too late in the 96th minutes. But yeah, does Poch need to be worried about his job?
I thought he had a free hit this season.
Yeah, I did say that, but your free hit is only so free. Right.
I don't know. It's pointless talking about Chelsea, man. Like, I just don't think it's like strangers just playing football. Like, they got some quality players, but they've just been shoved together and just said, yeah, just play kind of thing. You can't really expect anything. I only expect anything from them. Well, not expect, but I expect them to turn up against the big teams, because that's when I think they actually want to perform. They actually want to run, and they're not rubbish players. They're just not like, they just don't know what to do with each other, basically, on a normal day.
So you don't think that his job should be in any jeopardy, or they should be looking to make it a change? It should just be a free hit season. They're 10th now. They've lost 8 games. They've won 6. They've drawn 4. So
it's not really his fault, really. I don't think it's his fault anyway. I think the owner's fault. That's his fault.
Keep.
Yeah, I think for me, I don't think his job is in jeopardy. I think it would have been like a sounding out season for him. But I think the problem that he's facing is that none of the players are really stepping up. Like, I think this season would have been a chance for him to be like, right, I didn't make these signings, but I'm gonna take a pick and take stock of who I've got and who I think can perform next season, so I can kind of work around that. And I think as the season goes on, I think he's just struggling to find out who those kind of core players will be that he takes forward next season. Obviously, like Cole Palmer might be his signing because he came in quite late after he signed. We know that he's a good player. Sterling, you're not going to bomb off, even though he's been a bit indifferent for like the last kind of 6 weeks or so. Yeah. He's going to be in and around the squad. But outside of that, can you say anyone else has really taken a chance or kind of stepped up and say, yeah, we can integrate you into our squad next season? Like, hopefully Nkunku might show a bit.
I think that's the hardest
he's got
part.
A bit of grace, isn't he?
I think that's the hardest part of his job, because realistically, January and the summer, you're looking to remove some of those players, isn't it? I don't know if he really. I don't know if he needs to bring in anyone, but he needs to remove some of them. But they're not bad players. I just think it's a bad environment. And which ones do you remove? Like, which ones do you? Because I guarantee you, some of them players that go, they're going to be playing fine, like proper football, wherever they go. I can see them leaving and playing decent football, playing well. So it's going to be hard, man. It's hard.
Yeah, I mean, you look at one of the goals today. You guys will see the clip. You know, my favorite Chelsea defender, Badia Shield. Yeah, the ball's coming to him. He's in the center of his 6-yard box, and he just flicked out his foot to clear. You know, like you do in five-a-side, you're there, put it here. You just flick out your foot. He just flicked out his foot
straight to him.
He's just gone straight to Nunez or someone, and he literally just slotted it in bottom corner. It was like I was watching Power League. I'm just like, what are you doing? And it's just sometimes when the pundits and the defenders, you know, when they're talking about some of these mistakes and they're saying it's a mentality, it's a mindset, and I'm like, oh, it's only one mistake. It's things like that where you think, no, it's true, because in that moment, for you to just think that that's cool, your brain's not operating at the right place.
Think of the mentality around the club, like around the players, like who's stepping up. You got Conor Gallagher, yeah, he's played well this season, cool. He's the captain. He's gonna chat to me. I'm Mudryk, 100 million, like Enzo. I'm a World Cup winner. Like, there's no one picking up anyone, like pulling up people and saying, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" Like, da 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 da. You got these guys chatting to me. I ain't listening to them. I don't really care. I'm all right, kind of thing. That's what it looks like. But I don't know, because
we said that at the start of the season, didn't we? Like the whole inexperience thing. Like, for an established club like Chelsea to go into a season with minimal experienced players, and again refer to Sterling, experience, been around the block. Thiago, like, his CV reads for itself. But outside of that,
no. But even like look,
no one.
Look at even recently, yeah. You can't say Enzo don't know how to play properly in a proper team. He done it with Argentina. He won the World Cup. Like, you can't say Caicedo can't do it. We just saw him do it at Brighton.
But if you go back to Caicedo and Enzo,
you just see Cole will do it at Brighton.
But what I'm saying, in terms of experience, between those three players that you mentioned, I bet they've got less than 100 first team appearances across the board. Because Enzo didn't play many games for Benfica. Caicedo didn't play many games for Brighton prior to leaving, maybe like a season or two. Colwill only had his like breakout season last year, and I think he didn't play more than 20 times for Brighton. So I know they've it seems like they've been around, but 1 or 2 years playing isn't really a lot.
Yeah, but
I
know
you've won a World Cup.
If you bought Caicedo and Colwill, they wouldn't be playing how they play.
Oh yeah, because we got better players around them. They would have integrated to a better team.
The environment is different, totally different.
Yeah, the standards,
and they would have played way better than what they're playing now. If Mudryk come to Arsenal, he would have played better than what he is doing now at Chelsea.
Yeah, and the standards that have been set are different. You know, you walk into Liverpool, You walk into Melwood, there's a standard that's set there, right? They've achieved things recently. Klopp's been there for some time. The coaches, Van Dijk's been the captain for 3 years or something now. Do you know what I mean? Like, the standards are set. So yeah, T's right. I think things are forming there. I mean, don't get me wrong. If you ask me personally, I'm not saying they should sack Poch, but the reason why I'm asking is you've got these owners. They spend a lot of money. They got rid of Potter for various reasons. I think he wasn't their guy, right? Cool. Excuse me. They've now got Poch. I think he has to be given the season, but there's a limit to that. That's the only reason I was asking that. What's the limit? There's a limit to
What's
that.
the point in sacking him? What's the point?
Yeah, no, fair.
There's
No,
no
fair.
point in sacking him. What's the like?
So if he starts dancing with Bournemouth and them lot, you're still gonna be like cool.
He's got January. He needs to sort something out in January. He needs to trim the
Fair.
He needs to be the boss. That's what he needs to do. He needs to be the boss. Like, I don't want him. I don't want him. I don't want him. I need a couple more players, maybe. But I need those ones out. I need a couple in because there's going to be players that, yeah, they're good, but he's just looking at them probably walking around the training ground and not caring and thinking, no, I can't do this with them. You get me?
Yeah.
I think you need to be a bit ruthless. And as well, even though they've lost to teams that you think Chelsea wouldn't lose to, in those games, it's just they haven't been clinical. Like, it's rare that those games they lose, they've kind of been outplayed, if that makes sense.
Yeah. They had some chances today where
that's what I'm saying to you. Like the games they're losing, they're in the games. Like, you know, we talk about Man United and they lose to kind of smaller teams where they've just been outplayed for like 60, 70 minutes of the match. Like, I don't really see that with Chelsea. So I think he might take a bit of heart from that and be like, I've got a foundation to work from, but it's just not falling into place yet.
It's gonna click, innit? That's what they keep thinking. It's gonna click eventually. It's gonna click.
Because then they pick up results against or good performances against bigger teams, innit? So yeah.
So I think and one thing Poch might say is injuries.
Here's what I found.
Serena was talking to you. Is it? I mean, I look at the injury list: Cucurella, Fofana, Caicedo, Chalobah, Chilwell, Reece James, Sanchez, Enzo Fernandez. Like, for a lot of teams, I mean, those are all, apart from Chalobah, those are all basically first team players. Yeah.
But
Cucurella hasn't been amazing.
What you like, you know, when we talk about the injury lists and stuff like that, like, cool, I get it, injury list. But that injury list, those players weren't doing anything when they were fit. So what's the difference?
I was going to say Cucurella wasn't, Caicedo wasn't, but Chilwell was, James was.
No, I don't think James was.
James has hardly been fit. Let's take James out. But Chilwell was playing decent. Enzo Fernandez was playing decently. I think he was a decent
part.
Yeah,
I'll give you that one. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, everyone else, you're right. Sanchez was doing a madness, absolute madness.
Bro, I don't know about this team. It's weird, man. They've got so many players and then they get injuries and then they complain about injuries. You bought about 50 players, bro.
But then if I look at the unused substitutes today, I don't know. Or Lavia's on the bench.
I don't know them. I looked at the team. I don't know.
But remember Lavia, Southampton?
Yeah, I see him. I was thinking,
first time he's in the squad.
And then the subs that came on, Madueke, Badiashile, Matson, and Cuckoo came on 59th minute, and Modric came on 59th minute. And the reason why I brought
that, who's like, I've heard Matson, but you've spent how much money, and these are the guys that you've got on your bench, and to do that. I'm thinking, what is going on?
Mate, it's crazy. And the reason why I brought it, because I looked at the starting lineup, and again, there doesn't seem to be a familiarity to it, right? Cole was still playing left back. Don't know, I can't figure that one out. We've got Silva and the Sassy centre back, cool. Gusto right back, that's kind of been settled-ish. I still don't know why Cole was playing left back. Obviously, Ben Chilwell's out. Well, Ben Chilwell and Cucurella's out. So fair, okay. Gallagher and Ugochukwu started kind of because he's playing 4-2-3-1, and then he's played Sterling behind Brazier. And Jackson behind Brazier, and then Sterling and Palmer either side. Now, I didn't watch the game, but if that's how he's actually set up, then that when I look at what's on the bench, that's crazy to me. But again, to T's point, he's figuring it out, right? He's got the season to figure it out.
Jackson as a 10 is just ridiculous. Like, if you see him playing up front, he's got no composure whatsoever. But you want to stick him in one of the most pivotal roles in your team to try and dictate play. Like,
I need to
don't
watch the
understand
game. I need to watch the game and see if he actually played as a 10, or that's just how it's written up. Because yeah, that's not possible. Potts can't be doing that. If he played Jackson as a 10, maybe he should get fired. Maybe he should get fired. All right. So
But if you
yeah,
touch
another
on
Chelsea
Wolves,
loss.
though,
I
like,
was gonna say Wolves powering
Wolves
on.
have played pretty well this season, isn't it? So
Well, they're up to 11th,
not surprising.
22 points. What do they got now? They have they've lost 8 games. They got the same record as Chelsea. Lost 8 games.
Well, Neto's been injured.
Exactly. So one of their big players has been injured. But yeah, another decent win. Lamina's doing well. I like the look of him this season. Obviously Gary Neville went and did his look at me on Sky Sports on Monday Night Football. But he's done well. He's done well. And they march on. I mean, if the season ended now, they finish 11th, 10th. You take that for them, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. First season. I remember he came in the week the season started.
Oh yeah, he did.
Yeah,
Didn't
like
he
he
just
did
survive
have a
last?
pre-season.
Didn't they just survive last season as well?
I can't remember where they finished last season.
I need to double check. I'm
was
pretty
around
sure. Yeah, it wasn't an easy one for them last season.
Around there.
But yeah, Wolves keep going. Okay, cool. So let's move on to Spurs. Everton. Spurs have kind of slowed down the Everton bus, which I'm sure Isaac will be happy with if he was here. He'd be happy with that. But it wasn't a clear cut 2-1, right? I think Everton had some chances. Danjuma had a chance at the end, which centimeters. In the old days, the liner might have flagged goal for that one, you know.
Yeah.
But Richarlison scores again, not with his head this time. So tapping in the box, and then Son another goal. So they kind of controlled that first half, I think. Went 2-0 up, and then a ghost from the past, Andre Gomez. Keaton and I were talking about it yesterday. I mean, I know he had some horrific injuries, and then the managerial genius that is Frank Lampard let him go on loan to Lille. But he scored a bit of a screamer. So despite another loss, I think for me, from what I saw, Everton played well. I think Everton played well. They just came against a better team, and they couldn't finish their dinner. What do you guys think?
Yeah, like first half they were a bit sloppy. I think Calvert-Lewin had a decent header in the first half that Vicario pushed away, but Spurs had the better of the first half. Obviously, like I said, Richarlison got a good goal. Well worked, actually. Johnson down the right played it into him. Really good finish. But yeah, second half, Everton kind of got at them, and it could have been a different result if it wasn't for the woodwork and Vicario. I can't remember what play it was. Might have been Danjuma again, who had a shot that Vicario tipped over. Really good save. And we've kind of said like he's been one of the signings of the season, to be honest. It's rare that you kind of get a young, good goalkeeper that comes into the Premier League and starts doing well straight away. Yeah. I think he's been nominated for like saving a month every month since he's been there.
Been a good signing, man.
Yeah, so yeah, good signing. But yeah, Spurs are not looking as good as what they were like the first kind of 4 or 5 games of the season when everyone was raving about them. I think you can get at them, and yeah, it's like same as Everton. Everton are not as bad as what they were first 4 or 5 games of the season.
Actually starting to work his magic.
Yeah.
That's bull. And again, I know it's easy to say because Terrell, I think you said it a couple of episodes ago. I said, if they didn't have the 10 point, they're on Everton are on 16 points now. You know, without the 10-point deduction, they would be 10th, right? But then there's argument to say, would they be moving like this if they hadn't been deducted the 10 points? Who knows? But they were on a move anyway. Before the 10-point deduction, they'd won a couple of games. They were starting to play a certain shape. Yeah. And I like that, actually, you're seeing other players contributing now. So it's either Dyche is giving everyone a proper clean sheet, maybe, right? So Gomez didn't feature before. He's back in now. He's doing what he's doing. Danjuma played a bit today. I'm not sure if he's been injured. I saw some pictures. Dele Alli was back in training last week.
Yeah, I saw that.
So yeah, I think as you say, Dutch ball, and the transfer window opens in another week and a bit. So yeah, in my mind, when I think about relegation, I don't even think about Everton anymore.
Nah,
No, not at all. Even with the point deduction.
Yeah, I don't even think about Everton anymore. For me, even though they're 16th, but they're 2 points ahead of Forest and they're 4 points ahead of Luton. So, but yeah, there's a long way to go. We're just at the halfway point now, aren't we? Everyone apart from City and Luton, obviously because of their games, Luton and Brentford, everyone's played 18 games now. So we're just at the halfway point, and the table seems to be forming shape. Seems to be forming shape. Okay,
Did you
cool.
see
Any
the
more
goals?
Spurs of it? Sorry?
Did you see the goals?
What, the Spurs goals?
Yeah.
Any of the goals? Yeah. So like I said,
What do you make of Pickford pushing it out for Son? So I can't remember who shot for Spurs, but
yeah,
he pushed it straight back to the penalty spot.
I've never rated Pickford. I don't rate Pickford. I wanted Ramsdale
no.
to be England's number one. I never rated Pickford.
You've got to be Arsenal's number one first, mate.
Yeah, not
well,
now, but last season, definitely.
I'll tell you what.
I still think he's gonna get there. You know, I still think he's gonna get back into the team somehow.
Back into our team, into the Arsenal team. Oh no, we'll come to that in a second. I think Ray is making the door very easy open for him. But Key, you know what? Sometimes I say that about keepers, but I just think sometimes, depending on where the shots come from, etc., to push it away, it takes a certain bit of amount of technique. And in the same game, he made a couple of good saves as well. So I just think that's one of those ones where he was more focused on making the save, making the save first. And I could probably question, the defender that was facing up to him. I don't think he got out to Son quick enough. Like if I remember correctly, Son has finished that in the post nearest to him, right?
Yeah.
So you get out to him quick enough and block that off. That doesn't happen. He hasn't got that option. So that's where my blame would lie a bit more. I think I'd love to hear what Sundas had to say about that goal, but the defender who should have been closing him down is the one that would be in my crosshairs. Put it that way.
What about the disallowed goal? The Everton disallowed goal. Calvert-Lewin's.
Oh, listen. It was a foul. It was a foul, yeah. It was a foul, but it's one of those ones where I almost didn't want it to be to teach you doggy a lesson because I don't know what you're doing, why you're doing that there. But it was a foul. He took his left leg.
Yeah.
Couldn't get to it, but and sometimes refs don't give them because they're like, no, you just lost the ball. But that doesn't mean it's not a foul, right?
Bro.
What are you saying? It's not a foul?
In real time, I didn't think it was a foul. I just thought he just lost the ball.
If a goal don't happen, that's never a foul. I don't think the ref ain't given that as a foul.
Well, they don't check VAR. Don't check it. But it doesn't result in a goal. To be fair,
but because it was a goal, they had to check in it. So,
but don't you think in real time you've seen it? Like the ref seen.
I thought it was a foul.
Did you?
Well, let me not lie. I questioned and I was like, "Ain't that a foul?"
Bro,
that was my immediate reaction. Ain't that a foul?
You're in trouble. You're back. You're facing your goal. You're in trouble, and you feel someone that, and you go down.
You see it all the time. You see it all the time. They fall on the ball. They fall on the ball.
Bro.
Yeah.
I think he got away with it.
He did. He got away with one there. But on the replay, like a lot of this is when you look at the replay, you can find the foul. If that makes sense. So on the letter of the law, I've kicked your leg.
Like that. You're gonna see I bumped into you and you fell. But in real time, the ref seen it. He didn't crash into him. It weren't like that. The ref didn't see anything wrong with it.
The refs probably look at it like us. You just lost the ball with it. But on the replay, he's kicked his leg. So I thought, if you're looking at slow motion, you're gonna say foul. But if it didn't go up for a goal, so he did get away with one day, doggy part. I think Ange lives with those because of the way he tells them to play, right? But he could have just laid that off and gone. So Spurs, where are Spurs now? They're not dipping as bad as I thought, but they're full 36 points, 2 points ahead of Man City, Man City win their game in hand, that makes them 5th, but they're still 6 points ahead of West Ham. So there's a little gap forming now. I think the top 5, if Man City played all the 18 games, even if they drew or even if they lost, they're 4 points ahead of the 6th place. So top 5 are just edging out a little bit now, building a little bit of a points gap. Let's see if that maintains when everyone starts to play each other. So yeah, quickly thinking about the next game, Fulham, Burnley. Whew. Burnley finally talking up a win, a decent win as well. 2 good goals as well. Well, actually, second goal, Bert Leno. We need to have a chat, mate. But first goal was a nice one too, and then he's popped it top corner. It was a typical Burnley. Like, if they were going to win a game, one of the goals was going to be like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
One of the goals was going to be like that. Fulham did create some chances. There was a handball shot, which would have been absolute uproar. TalkSport would have been lit up the whole week if they gave it. But I don't, it seemed to me that they hadn't done enough, and Burnley were good for their win. Burnley were really good for their win.
I think this is how Company thought it was gonna go when he started. I think this is how he thought we're gonna play. We're gonna slap goals like this, hasn't worked like that. But it was only a matter of time before it's gonna click against a couple teams. But I still think they're just it's over for them, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, they're at 19th now, 11 points. I'm trying to see how many wins they've had. Let's see how many wins have they got.
3.
3 wins.
Yeah, 3 wins, 2 draws, 13 defeats.
Yeah, it's not good enough, really. Not good enough. So as it stands now, who's going down? What are we saying, boys?
I think how it is.
Yeah, I think the promoted teams are looking very precarious at the minute. It's like they're losing 3-4 games, then picking up 1 win, then losing 3-4 games, then picking up win.
Well, Sheffield United have made their move, innit? They've got in Chris Wilder, so who knows? And he's got a couple results, but
I think they're adrift, man. I think if Forest just maintain, these guys have cut just a bit. I mean, Luton shouldn't be beating Newcastle. There's just a bit, not rogue. I don't want to say rogue results, but Newcastle shouldn't be. They shouldn't be beating. Luton shouldn't be beating Newcastle. That shouldn't have been 3 points. They should
say that though.
Be on 8 points.
But if you look at the big teams that have gone down to Luton and played, Luton played very well against Tottenham.
Yes,
they really should have beaten Liverpool. They should have got a point from Arsenal. Have they played Man City at their ground?
Yeah.
No, it was Man United. No, it wasn't Man United.
Man United, right?
Oh, was it? It was Man United. Yeah, so they played pretty well against the big teams at Kenilworth Road. So I'm not surprised that they beat Newcastle, who have been in a bit of dodgy form.
I did say that. I thought, do you know what? When you go there, big Prem teams go down to that ground, it's going to be a little bit of a shock, innit?
100%. I'm about to say, change rooms alone.
Some
of them men, they're just can't be asked to be here. I can't be asked to do all this, and that's where they'll catch you out, innit? They're going to be up for it. Every single home game will be up for it. Yeah,
and they got a game in hand on everyone around them, to be fair. So if they won their game in hand, Forest dropped back into the relegation zone. So it is interesting. They've won 2 and lost 3 of their last 5. Whereas Burnley have won 2, drawn 1, and lost 2 of their last 5. But they were coming from way back, right? Luton had already chalked up some points. So yeah, I think Forest are still in it. I think, which is why they made their move. Everton are unfortunately still in it, unless that appeal turns something round. And if Palace don't watch themselves, Palace are 2 points ahead of Everton. So yeah.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I was going to say, like, you can never say Everton and Crystal Palace are too big to go down. But I know they're kind of floating, but I think it's 3 from the bottom 4 as it is, to be honest. Like, I'd be very surprised if Everton or Palace got dragged into it, or even Brentford, because they're only a point ahead of Palace, aren't they? So yeah, I'd be very surprised if they.
I think more of Everton was their form and the way they're playing. So if I look ahead another 20 games, they're not even here. They're not even around here. That's the way I'm kind of looking at the way they're playing and
Yeah.
the way that's set them up. So that's why I mentioned Palace, because I don't think the same with Palace. I think
If you was
Palace are kind of scraping the by.
if you was to pick one of them,
Mm.
one of the bottom three, which one do you think
Is what going to stay up?
I'd say Luton, you know.
I'll say Luton, bruv.
I know we kind of ridiculed them at the start of the season, but they look all right, man. I think of the bottom three. I think of the bottom three, they look all right.
Yeah, no, they're looking good.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think with Luton, it's less about, I don't want to ridicule them and say philosophy or anything like that, but when we think about just surviving, grinding out results, all of that kind of stuff, I think that's what's got them to where they are now, where we're actually saying they've got a game in hand and they could be legitimately outside of the relegation zone if they get a result or get 3 points. Whereas Burnley, of course, where they decided to stick to their ideology, etc., I don't see them. I don't see company down in tools halfway through the season and saying, "All right, we're going to just scrap now." So that's for me why I would say Luton.
Yeah,
personally.
Fair enough.
All right, cool. So yeah, good win for Burnley. Liverpool, Arsenal.
Let's go.
Manic. It was a frantic game, man.
Guys, quick question for me. Yeah? Obviously, as someone watching the game, it's great when it's end to end, etc. But like from a pure football point of view, if you're the manager, you must be like, what are you not doing?
Bro, that's what Klopp likes, bro. That's Klopp's thing.
Why are you giving with the ball there? Why are you giving with the ball there?
Yeah, man, you got
football, bro. That's what he likes, playground football.
No.
You got to put it on them, man. Make people question what they're doing, etc.
From a manager's point of view, that must be so frustrating, man. It must be so frustrating. But yeah, I thought it was a good game. Just from a football game point of view, in terms of entertainment, it was a good game. I think if you're looking at some of the basics, it probably wasn't great first half an hour, but yeah, it was just end to end. I mean, what 1 minute in, we had a corner. We've gone down the wing. Had to get a crossing corner. I said, okay, I know what kind of game we're in for. Well, Terrell, give me some of your early thoughts on the game. What are you saying?
Do you know what? I went into the game. I was thinking, you know what? It's on Liverpool really to do something to beat us. Really, like that's the only result that makes sense for them. I was cool with a draw. A win would have been a madness, but the draw was fine. I was cool with a draw. When I saw how we started, I thought, is this going to be like the last season's game? And then I quickly saw it wasn't. It was going to be some serious chaos, and we had to weather some serious storms.
But do you get a bit of PTSD? You know when Salah, a couple times Salah got the ball, and it's him and Zinchenko, and I just thought,
But I conceded it though. Like I just knew what was gonna happen. The only thing that I don't really get is like when it's our wingers, Martinelli or Saka, you see bang double up one time. I don't get why we ain't.
Why don't we do that?
You know what's funny? You say that, yeah. I don't know if you've seen the interview that Zinchenko done with Rio Ferdinand about the time he was at Man City, and he was actually talking about playing against Salah, and he was like, I will have to have help, like Rodri or someone will come and support me, because if I'm isolated with Salah, he's gone, and that's exactly what happened yesterday. So it's surprising that Arteta didn't have some kind of game plan to say,
I was actually thinking, you know what? I get it. Salah versus Zinchenko. Salah versus anyone. Like it can happen to anyone. So I'm not even blaming Zinchenko. I don't know why everyone blames it like him. It could have been Ben White. It could have been. It
was too easy, T. Like it was too easy.
I'm not saying no, but we know he ain't the best. It's like putting Martinelli up against Trent. You know he's gonna get skinned. He's gonna get skinned, but it's like
my honest thing with Zinchenko.
Rice over there more.
Yeah, I agree.
I thought Rice was gonna back him up, and it will be okay, semi okay.
My kind of amateur view on that is Arteta's playing the odds, because if I don't double team, we game with possession there, then someone isn't 5 or 10 yards further back in defence. I've not dragged Martinelli all the way back. Do you know what I mean? And actually, it's an opportunity.
Chaos. He went with the chaos.
Yeah, he did. He went machine for machine with the chaos, innit?
He definitely did, bro.
Keith, what you said?
Yeah, Arsenal had the better first 5-10 minutes. I'd say. I think if we had scored first yesterday, I think we would have gone on to win the game. Just kind of how we played, how we responded after you scored. Like, we started squeezing you, started pressing you a bit more. We were a bit sloppy in the final third in the first half. But I think we had enough possession of the ball to kind of show that we were going to score. And even watching the game, I was like, right, we're 1-0 down, but I don't see Arsenal winning this game 1-0 or 2-0. Like, I always had confidence that we would score, where against Man United last week, I wasn't confident that we would score at all. Yeah, so I just want to touch on Konate. I think Konate had a really good game yesterday, other than the marking for Arsenal's goal. But after that, I think the 85 minutes after that, him and Saliba were like top. Like, how they don't start for France together, and you've got that guy at Bayern Munich starting every game. Like, it's ridiculous. I think they were really good. And on another day, that 3-on-1 that we have with Trent,
5-on-1.
It goes in.
No, forget that. No, forget that. Another day, you have a penalty, mate. Yeah? Forget the 3-on-1. Like,
you know what? Yeah, that's. I was surprised. I was so shocked that they didn't give it. But when I saw the video slowed down, and then their reasoning as to why, I kind of got it, but I was surprised. But I got it. I get why they didn't give it, but I was so shocked.
My thing is, do I. And the thing is, like, I know he slipped, but if you slip and you put your hand down, you don't kind of curve your hand. Your hand goes flat in it down to support yourself.
Oh, but that's because he slipped, but he regained his balance. So he didn't actually slip on the floor, because we've seen that. We've seen a player slip and their hand goes down and the ball's hit their hand, and they haven't given it because he slipped in it. You know you're going to put your hand out if you slip. Yeah. But he
it's even worse.
And then regained his balance. So it looked mad, but it was a genuine slip. So I can't really... I can't knock it. I don't care.
Yeah, I'm happy with that, but he didn't slip enough to not give that penalty, bro. Like, it looked like he did a little left-handed basketball move. Like, he just turned it away from the basket. That's what he
Maybe
looked
they
like.
gave us one back. Maybe they gave us one back.
Maybe. But if I'm Howard Webb, we're all having a chat. Like, next time we're having a chat. Because
Do you think that's a mad call? I don't think it's that mad of a call, though.
Yeah, I don't think it's that mad. Like, you kind of see those not given in it.
No, but he actually slipped, though.
Right,
we've all slipped, and you're like, what? Oh, you've put your own.
It's not a clear 50-50. I think it's like 60-40. It's normally given. I don't think it's a clear 50-50 for me.
You're both mad. I think that's top 3, top 4 worst decision this season.
No way. No.
Every time I see it, I'm just like, oh, that was so crazy. I can't believe it. I can't. Especially
going back to the game as well.
Yeah,
I think Klopp got his subs wrong. They slowed us down, man. Like, I thought Jones was having a really good game. I don't think he should have come off. And yeah, we just lost a bit of impetus. Like, obviously, I know Tsimikas had to come on, and to be fair, Gomez playing right back. Left back. He played pretty well for the and.
He had more shots on targets than certain of your front three, mate.
Those subs nearly cost you lot, because there was a period there was a period after those changes where we actually started holding onto the ball and actually like
a good 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah, a good 10, 15 minutes. We was actually playing, and I thought this is the time where we have to do something. Because I thought if we don't do something now, you lot are gonna come back again. But we was doing well. But yeah, I thought that was right before you lot had the 5-on-1 anyway.
Yeah. I expected Gakpo to come off. I just feel like he wasn't getting in the game. He wasn't influencing it well. So I think we called that in the room. We said, look, Gakpo needs to come off. But I wasn't expecting that en masse, like all of that. I really wasn't expecting that. So I agree. And I think also you saw yesterday a little bit with us where I just don't think, apart from maybe Trossard and even Eddie, I just don't think we have the same level on the bench as we do on the pitch. And I think if we're going to become regular, and it's a little bit of the journey you're on, Keith, but I think you guys are a bit further ahead of us. I think if we're going to be regularly banging out with Man City, you got to have guys on the bench who are same level, not in every position. That's unless you spend the money Man City spend. But next season, I just hope 2 or 3 more positions, or even 1 or 2 more positions, the guy on the bench is as good as the guy on the pitch. I think we've got that at right and left back. So Tomiyasu is as good as Ben White or Zinchenko in defensively anyway. Maybe there's shortcomings either way, but he's not a shortfall. You just get different things from him, right? If you put him on left back, you won't get the stuff you get on the ball from Zinchenko, but you get some solidity there. If you come on left back against Salah, I'm not stressing. Do you know what I'm saying? But I think we need that in more positions. And I think that's where yesterday Klopp felt like, actually, I can bring these lot off the bench because Gravenberch is the first teamer. Do you know what I mean? Elliott's the first teamer. So he made those changes. So yeah, those subs could have killed you, but we got lucky. I think that ball falls. Ironically, you would argue that right now you'd want it to fall to Trent, but in that situation, you want it to fall to a man who's in the situations more often. You want it to fall to a Salah.
He could have passed it. He could have passed it again.
Yeah, he could have, innit?
Yeah, he could have.
He had a lot of time. Like he had a lot of time. He could have easily just passed that back.
But the form he's in, are you passing?
Yeah, and like he's running onto it to strike the ball. We all know that Trent's ball striking is like second to none, pretty much in the Premier League, innit? So yeah, I was surprised that he didn't score. But yeah, if that goes in, it's a different result, innit? But I'm a little bit disappointed. Like last 2 games, we've had Man United and Arsenal at home, and we already got 2 points from those. Like, yeah, I would have liked to have got 3 points from at least one of those games. But
I hear you. But quick question on that one.
So
last season, what was your problem? Your problem wasn't losing to big teams. It was dropping points at silly points at smaller teams, right?
Well, no, to be fair, we pretty much lost to everyone. We lost away to Man United. We lost away to you. We lost away to City. And obviously we dropped points against like smaller teams, so to speak.
As well.
Yeah. But I know like a lot of Liverpool fans are kind of doom and gloom. But I'm like, we've got a whole new midfield in it. Like, and we're a point off top at halfway point in the season. Like I wasn't expecting this. Like at the start of the season, I was like, right, we need to get back in top 4. Like I don't think we're going to be challenging because I don't know how the new guys are going to settle in. But now we're in a title race, so to speak, in it. Like if we kind of maintain what we're doing, so it's not all doom and gloom, man. And like we're saying, like not everyone can win every trophy in it. There's only one piece of silverware. Not everyone's going to win it.
I think Liverpool fans can be justifiably upset that you guys didn't deal with an out of form Man United, and then West Ham beating them yesterday.
Definitely Man United.
Man United won, defo.
So I think that's drop points. I definitely think that Man United at Anfield, don't get me wrong, Man United at Anfield, no matter how rubbish or good they are not coming to get turned over, innit? So especially after last season, do you know what I mean? But I'm not saying you guys should have whooped them, but I was expecting 3 points. I wasn't expecting another 7-0, but I thought you'd get 3 points, whether it's a 1-0 or 2-1, you'll get 2 points. I think Liverpool fans are justifiably a little bit disappointed with that. But I think if anyone's been proper objective, if you'd ask everyone what the result was going to be yesterday, you asked 100 people, probably half would have said Liverpool win, another 30% would have probably said a draw, and then maybe another 20 would have said Arsenal win. So yeah.
And if you take
I hear
stock
you.
for the whole season, we've only lost one league game, and that was a loss that might not have happened if the refereeing was or the VAR was up to standard. We lost one group game, or maybe two group games in the in the Europa League.
Yeah.
We're second in the league. We're in the League Cup semi-final. We're in the last 16 of the Europa League. Like that's good. Like a lot of teams would kind of sell their soul to be in that position. You know what I mean? So it's not all doom and gloom. Like all we've got to do now is kick on or maintain where we're at.
So Man City, yeah. I've got a theory now. Yeah, I've got Man City. They've been in a little friendly jolly up this Club World Cup thing, yeah. And I think they're gonna come back with a serious level of focus. Like we've gone away. Good look, yeah, bro. I just got a feeling because we've got this winter break thing now, haven't we? This whatever it is, we have that just after Christmas, etc. Yeah, I think January onwards, it's going to be pepper, absolute pepper.
Yeah, I'm not as confident as I was in them last season.
I don't know about that.
I think it's gonna be pepper, bro.
I'm not having that. But I am gonna say, big up Gabriel, because he's not getting the props that he deserves, man. Even the last game, he was immense. He scored a goal, and yes, it was good. Yes, Rice was good, but still talking about Rice and Saliba. Like,
what do you think it is, T? I've got a theory, but what do you think it is?
I think it's a bit of the past, the couple of mistakes he used to make every now and again.
Yeah.
But I feel like he is one of the best centre backs in the league.
Agreed.
I think he's a perfect partner for Saliba. He has that aggression where Saliba has that more silkier, covers up, and deals with the problems. But that is, yeah, I don't know.
You know what I think it is? I just think stylistically, Saliba is easy on the eye. You know, he's already getting the whole Rolls Royce thing and all of that. So I'm not saying he's not good, but Gabriel does defend in the dirty way. Gabriel seems to be the kind of defender that could have played with Tony Adams and them, man. Like,
I'm about to say that he's very old school in his way of playing.
He would have loved that. And I think the bit that doesn't get talked about enough with Gabriel is his passing out from the back. Like he's always trying forward passes. He's always trying to break the lines with passes. And actually, it surprises me some of the passes he tries to take on. So it's like, actually, no, you're not just a brute. No, you're not just here to wind up player.
He's putting them into them, up there as well.
So yeah, I agree. But I think Saliba is probably, because of last season, was a little bit more consistent. He's carried on this season. I think Gabriel's got those silly mistakes out of his game. I think he's sorted out discipline as well. I've not seen him get into these silly scraps this season. Not that I can remember. I don't know if you remember anything.
I think it has something to do with the what's it called as well. That Saliba has taken the shine, and everyone's looking at Saliba and he's so now he's like no one talks about Gabriel anymore. He's out of the spotlight, and he can just go about his business and just mash up people every game. All right, he's cool with it. Like I think he's done well, just being in the shadow of Saliba.
I think if both our clubs, I mean Liverpool have been banging out with them for a little bit, but I think if we maintain this, we'll make our January signings, we'll do it somehow. I think you look ahead, Villa as well, we might actually be getting back to a bit of a 3, 4, 5 team thing. There's no room for error, which is going to be interesting. The other thing I want to say about yesterday's game is I think that our front three aren't firing on all cylinders. I think Martinelli didn't have a fantastic game. I think I always say to people that on ability-wise, you could make an argument that Martinelli's ceiling is higher than Saka's in theory, on paper. But for me, Saka's superpower has always been that his decision making is so consistent. He makes the right decision at the right time so often. And yesterday, Martinelli showed where I think he's behind Saka in that regard. I don't think he makes the right decisions often enough.
I wanted to.
Yeah, I'm not sure he makes the right decisions often enough. Where he does make good decisions is finishing. Like, if there's a finish to be made, Martinelli is finishing, he's making it. But he just runs with the ball with his head down a lot, etc. But this is where Jesus' efforts are running and other parts of the team come in. But if we're going to win this league, I need them to find some form. We need Martinelli back to finishing those chances. Saka's been scoring and assisting, so that's not that it's fine, but he's still doing his thing. To be fair, Jesus scored last week, but I just think the dynamic of that's changed. Kai Havertz as well started to score goals. He probably needs to pick that up a bit. But yeah, there's definitely something there about the front three, and I think Martinelli, he's not at his best at the moment. He's not playing rubbish, but he's not at his best.
Do you know what? Yeah, especially in the Liverpool game. Yeah, I agree. Like, the numbers ain't there for him this season, but in the Liverpool game, yeah, that I think is harsh to criticize them so much, him and Saka, because of how Liverpool played it, like how they pressed us in. They were the only two outlets.
Yeah,
they go as well. There's no one there because Jesus is back doing his madness, and he has to come back and do his madness because they're everywhere. They're doing mad, like they're just everywhere, hunting you down, 4s and 5s. Like, you have to have Jesus back helping out as well. So when they break, it's like, and you see that Martinelli, he'll beat one man, two man, and then there's where else is there for him to go? It's kind of hard to criticize that. And then if that's the only outlet every single time, it's like you're gonna get tired. They're only human. They're going to get tired. And then when the decision making comes at the end, like in the second half, or when they get a chance here and there, it's kind of hard to take it sometimes. But
as a counter to that, T, like we kind of spoke about player moments, innit? And like Salah didn't have a great game yesterday, but he had his moment.
Look when he scored
and took it.
Look when he scored though. He
First
scored
half.
quite early. He scored quite early, and Martinelli had that chance when Saka went through, and he tried to dummy it, and then it went a bit behind him, so he couldn't get the shot off straight away. Like, those things I think about. I think about those kind of moments, and I think if we had a foothold on the game a little bit more, then all the running, like head down running, and trying to get up the other end of the pitch as quickly as possible. Like Salah and Diaz weren't doing that. No. Salah and Diaz was not doing that. They were chilling. They were waiting for the ball to come. They were chilling, then attacking. Martinelli and Saka had to go from their side of the box and all the way up, all the way to Liverpool. That's where they had to drive and go every single time. It takes its toll.
No, I agree, but I think my only thing is we're judging Martinelli by the player we think he is. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Well, not even that, just a player that he's shown us that he can be. I honestly believe, whether it's with us or somewhere else, he's going to become a 15, 20 goal a season winger, like ridiculous, dangerous. And in games like this, that one or two moments where you do make the right decision, are what count. They're the player moments that he talks about. So I just think the next evolution of Martinelli is just making those decisions in these games. I think that's as he grows and he does that. I can't remember what game it was. In the Man United game, there was a pass. He makes that pass, Saka's in, and it was just short. I think we drew 2-2 with Man U. Was it 2-2? You know the game I'm talking about? It was last minute. Or was it Chelsea? One of the two. So just little things like that. That's the only thing I would say. But we're still getting results. We're still top of the league, and our front three is in firing. So, when they do start firing, when they do start getting to that point, when Trossard does start chipping in again, then that's another level to go. So it's one of those first world problems almost, But if I fast forward to the end of the season, I think if we're gonna win this league, that getting better is going to be one of the big reasons why we won the league.
Havertz is doing now as well. I've seen Havertz, and he's moving like a proper player, bro.
Yeah, he's settled. He's settled now, isn't it?
Yeah. He believes in what he's doing, innit? Those goals helped him. I think those goals.
This is what I'm saying. When he was at Chelsea and people were saying whatever, and they won stuff, they didn't really see him doing this and doing that. But you see, when you go to a team and a manager's telling you do this and do that, and this is what's going to happen,
And it happens.
It's happened, and it happens, and it happens.
Yeah.
Then you're going to start buying into that. You're going to think, yeah, all right, no, I'm going to do this. I'm going to keep on doing it.
No,
I haven't seen him run so much.
Yeah, some of his stats, and that's what Arteta wants from that position, right? Because that's what Xhaka was doing. He was covering ground, he was being aggressive. And I did say when we signed him that his physical profile was a big factor in that, because we've got a very small front three. So that presence in the box, etc., just isn't there. And again, you can see a little bit elsewhere. Like that's one of the reasons. That's one of the things that Núñez adds to your front three. Gakpo. It's no coincidence that he didn't sign someone for the front three that was the same height as Salah or Diaz or Jota, right? It's no coincidence. So yeah, no, it makes sense. It makes sense. But yeah,
I'll ask you something.
Go on.
go ahead, sir. Go on.
You know what I'm gonna ask? Núñez, Gakpo, the up front. It's all right because Salah scored, right?
Okay. No. So if we're taking it just basing it on Núñez versus Salah, as we had the debate a couple of weeks ago, I understand that. But if you're looking across the front four, so I'm taking Jota out of this because he's been injured, and when he has played, he scored. For the front four, so you're going Diaz, Gakpo, Núñez, and Salah. Salah is carrying the other three way too much. And I said in our group chat that I want to see more from Diaz. Like, I know he's had kind of off the field problems, etc. He had a big injury last season, but yeah, we just need to the goals need to be shared out a lot more going forward, because you can see they're all talented. Like, you can see what Diaz can offer. Núñez, you know what he brings. Gakpo shows the glimpses. So yeah, those three have got to rise it for the second half of the season, like massively, and that ultimately that could be the reason why we don't win the league, because the goals are not coming from anyone else apart from Salah. So in answer to your question, Terrell, yeah, the others need to do more than what they're doing currently.
I was disappointed in Diaz, bro. I'm telling you,
Mate, you've been like that for a while.
I got my own fans on my back talking about Martinelli. I'm looking at him. He's busting a gut trying to do something for the team. Yeah, his decision making might not be that great, but I'm looking at Diaz, and he don't have to bust a gut. He's chilling. You lot were whole ball, like you lot had the possession. You lot was controlling the play. You lot was punishing us. He's out there chilling, waiting for that ball, and when it comes, not doing it.
Didn't do much. Yeah, it's been like that. But like I say, you know the talent's there in it. Like you keep him on because you know he could potentially do something. But yeah, I've said I need to see something a little bit more from him. And I think maybe when Jota's back, that might put a bit of fire up him to kind of deliver, because Jota will kind of walk back into the team potentially. But again, the position that we're in, without everyone firing, if they do start firing, where can we get to in it? So I'm not being too disheartened with it.
Yeah, one of my football groups, one of the boys he's called it early. Diaz, he's like, Diaz doesn't make it at Liverpool. He thinks that he does some nice stuff and he's going to score some goals, but it's like when Liverpool kind of get back to pushing at the top or want to push at the top, he actually thinks that Diaz doesn't cut it. And I wasn't having it because I thought his first season was good, but he's like, look at his numbers. He's not going to do enough. Yeah, well,
before Diaz, Jota will go up front, then go on the left before. Like I think that's what will happen when Jota comes back, more than Diaz goes and Jota goes there.
He's not having it. Okay,
but the thing is, the Diaz is talented. Like, you can see Diaz going to Spain and just doing wonders, kind of thing. So yeah, let's see what happens, man. Let's see what happens.
So on that whole who's playing well piece, the Odegaard agenda. If Isaac was here, Well, to be fair, Isaac backs him, but I think
John was
we've got
making
some.
notes yesterday. He's like, this guy coming
No,
through.
no, you know what it is. Look, me and T, we back Odegaard to the end of the earth in it, but sometimes I like to be fair. So when the other side's agenda is getting stronger, I'm like, oh, because even he's not been at his best for a while, and I'm surprised no one picked it up. So I'm not bringing up the conversation, but I'm surprised no one's picked it up. But we've been taking some flack to say Odegaard doesn't turn up in the big games, etc., etc. Was yesterday another example of that? Or to your point earlier, T, about Martinelli and Saka, in the context of the game, did he play well considering away game, Liverpool was set up well, etc., etc., or that shouldn't matter?
Bruv, Liverpool away is Liverpool away, bruv. We have to remember this.
Yeah.
He's
But
doing a lot.
nah. Like,
He's
I
doing-
understand that, but players can still perform at big away teams. Like,
Yeah.
They stop Rice performing.
No, but what is he doing? And what is Odegaard doing? What's Odegaard's role and what's Rice's role? Because you can look at Rice, you can look at Saliba, and you can look at Gabriel, and that worked. That was perfect for us, isn't it? But then you look at the others, the creative parts, and it was hard to get into the game. It was hard to do anything. That was just how that game was. But our defense and our core, like, you know, the bit that saved us was our defending. So and realistically, when you think about it, it's a good result. So it's hard. He was doing everything that he probably didn't want to do in that match, and that's what Liverpool make you do. You're running around for 85 minutes.
Yeah, but he's meant to be our game changer, bro. He's meant to make something in those situations.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah. I'm not with the other side yet. I'm still Team Odegaard, but I was watching this game and I'm like,
he was great last season, isn't it? So it's like we were saying, the expectations like you had with Martinelli, you know the levels that they can reach to, and you're just like, why are you not doing it again? But you're top of the league without players playing excellent again. So
and we can flip it. We can flip it onto Liverpool. We were playing another team. We can flip it onto Liverpool. What did their midfielders do? What midfielders played out of their skin or showed up on the big occasion? Salah showed up for a goal.
I mean, I thought Endo and Jones had good games. So Bosley is still in his funk at the minute. Like he not playing great. But I think I was worried about Endo. Like
the
John
same
knows
slumbers the same slumbers that Isaac said walks into the Arsenal team, yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't go that far. But I thought Endo and Jones had really good games, to be honest. They were like I say, the outstanding players were the two centre backs in it.
That's on both on both sides. I think
that's it. Yeah,
were the best out of all the players, isn't it? That's what I believe. Rice was good, Endo was good, Jones was good, Havertz was quite good. Like the core of each team was quite good, and the attack wasn't really connecting on both sides.
Yeah, no, for real. It was just a good game, man. Like it's one of the games that just kind of flew by. One of the games that
5-on-1, the penalty and the 5-on-1, big moments, big moments. Penalty you lot can't do anything about. 5-on-1, like when he saw that hit the bar, I said, "Yo, okay, all right, cool, all right." I think we've covered all the games we wanted to cover from the weekend. Quickly, not quickly. There's other topics to get onto. So,
are we not going to slander Man United, or we've done that too many times?
Oh, mate, I'm kind of tired of it, you know. What are we gonna say? I mean, we're gonna talk about Man United in a minute. We'll talk about the Ratcliffe piece. But we all expected to be new. Let's start with the Boly red card today. So for those of you who haven't seen it, was it today or yesterday? I've lost track of days. It was yesterday. So
yesterday,
yeah. So Nottingham Forest 2, Bournemouth 3, Nottingham Forest at home. Boly gets sent off for 2. Willy Boly gets sent off for 2 bookable offences. The second of which, I think, this is on the 23rd minute, right? So he's off in the 23rd minute. They sacrificed one of their strikers or one of their forward players, Divock Origi, to plug that hole. So you're on the back foot, basically. They made it to half-time 0-0. But for those who haven't seen it, Willy Boly's on a yellow card already. He goes in for a sliding tackle, and he gets the ball first. Right? Gets the ball
Clearly.
first. Very clearly. There's no one could doubt that. And then on his follow through, he cleans out the man, and the timing of his tackle means that he gets the ball. In my opinion, he gets the ball after the players passed it or lost control, so that's fine. But basically, the ball is. I want to use the words of Daz where he said it's long gone. We had a discussion on this in our WhatsApp group, but it's not in possession of the player anymore, and then he cleans the player out. In my opinion, I've seen those given. They've been given against me before. If I'm the player with the ball, I'm expecting that as a foul, right? He's cleaned me out after because the ball going and the cleaning out is almost two separate
I wouldn't even
motions.
say he cleaned him out, to be honest. I think he just touched him.
Okay,
Yeah, how
fine,
can
but
you
he's taking it out. But my sliding leg has hit the ball and that's gone, and then it's taking him out. In no planet, in no game, in no level of the game is that a yellow card. I think it's unreal.
Wait. Let's say we all agree that was not another yellow card.
No,
Crazy.
yeah, it's like
You-
23rd minute. 23rd
You
minute.
think that
Yeah.
it was a foul? Let's get
Look, I'm not saying it's Stonewall, but if I'm watching that game and the ref goes free kick, I'm like, okay.
So I was watching the highlights, yeah, and it was on Sky. I don't know who the commentator was, and during the process, he was commentating and he goes, "Oh, that's a great tackle by Boly. Oh, what's the referee done here?" And when he's seen the second yellow come out, he's gone, "No."
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's everyone's reaction because it was so ridiculous, like
it
that
can't
bad.
be a foul. It's impossible that challenge is a foul. It's absolutely impossible. Bro, even when I watched Match of the Day and they analysed it, even after the follow through that you're talking about, the player that went down kicked Boly's foot.
Yeah, it's like he stood on him, didn't he?
Kicked his foot. He basically stamped on Boly's foot and went down.
Yeah. I've seen them giving, bro. I've seen them giving still.
No way. I don't blame the ref because whatever the ref saw, he probably thought it was late in it. Cool, whatever. That's just an error, isn't it?
But can VAR check that? Because it's 2 yellows. They can't check it.
So they don't at the minute, but they want to going forward. So the new laws that they're giving them potentially for like corners, free kicks, and second yellows. Yeah. So and I think if that went to VAR for second yellow, he has a look at it and goes like, "Oh yeah, I've got that one really wrong."
Yeah,
crack on.
See, this is a double side, isn't it? Because we don't want VAR touching more sides of the game. But that's a great example there, where VAR tells him, "Go to the screen, mate," or they tell him straight away, "Nah, not a yellow." And we're like, "Yeah, great." Do you know what I mean? So don't get me wrong. There's 5 reasons to 1 why we don't want them to do it. Yeah. but that's a great example. But yeah, I think the debate was, and obviously Daz has done, he's a qualified referee, etc. And yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I would want that free kick if I'm the one being tackled. But yeah, I've seen him given, but then you've put a team, for 67 minutes, well, probably 77 these days with the added time on, with 10 men. They've had to change up their shape, but they made it to half time, to be honest. Then they go 1-0 up. Anthony Elanga with a nice finish, very nice finish.
It's a good goal.
I always wonder about this type of finishes. I'm like, keeper. Yeah, but anyway,
it's the pace, isn't it? Salah loves those kind of finishes. It's the pace on the ball. Can't do it.
Fair enough. And then
can I ask the question, Jay? Jay, can I ask the question?
Go on.
Is it a purple patch, or is he finally showing his ability at the highest level, Mr. Solanke?
Who are you talking about?
Mr. Solanke.
Ooh.
Look, the way I'm looking at this now, yeah.
I'm saying purple patch for now. You can't just say finally. No. I think it's a little purple patch.
I wanted to say that, yeah. That I'm seeing the different goals he's scoring.
Bro, the last header today, my word. Or yesterday, sorry.
The header was crazy.
Proper.
Header was crazy. Eddie's in the right position. Look, listen. Every time I slag a player off, they start doing well in it. So I might have to take the L on this one. He's scoring important goals. He's going to be a big reason why Bournemouth stay up. But I think he's at his level. I think that's a lie. I think when he left Chelsea, I remember at the time he was a very coveted wonder kid, right?
Yeah.
Said, I don't want to stay at Chelsea, I want to get games. Then he goes to Liverpool. Anyway. And then I remember when Liverpool sold it to Bournemouth for like 15 million or 20 million or something crazy. We were all like, what in the hell is going on here? So I think there's an expectation from a lot of those in the game who have seen him from a young age that he will play at least someone who's top 10 in the Prem, top 10, top 11. So, yeah, this is showing the form of someone who, when a team is clicking and they're making chances, he will put them away. And I think going out to the Championship, he scored a few goals there, didn't he? That helped him kind of blow the cobwebs out. So, yeah, I'm not willing to concede yet. I think he needs a move to, if I look at the table, he needs a move to, I don't know, a West Ham, a Newcastle type of team, but Newcastle will never buy him now, right? They're looking bigger and better. He's not better than Isak in my mind, right?
This is what Eddie Nketiah should be doing for Arsenal.
Yes, but not Bournemouth.
Pardon?
Not Bournemouth. Yeah.
No, but Eddie had a good run. He's had the back end of last season and the start of this season. He had a good run.
But he scored when he
that
plays.
Pardon?
When he starts, he scores. Like his goal record when he starts is very good.
He does.
Yeah, it's not great. Like Solanke's got 11 goals in Bournemouth, and we said if a striker hits 15 league goals in the Prem, they've done well, and he's 4 goals off that.
He's got a lot of minutes though. I'm not just talking about this season as well as last season.
Well, forget the minutes. It's even the fact that unless you're injured,
playing, innit? Yeah.
I'm playing.
Yeah.
I'm playing. Every week, I'm the main guy. I'm the striker. Which is why I always said, Arsenal fans kill me for this. I always said, he shouldn't have stayed. I'll be honest, he shouldn't have.
Not only that, he's at a team with the expectations is different. He don't have to score every game. They're not going to get onto him if he don't score. Bro, if Eddie starts tomorrow, if he don't score, what are you doing? Oh, I said
£100 a week.
I'm saying.
But he should be, man. I think you've got to have the expectation in it. You've got to be like, right, I'm not the main guy at Arsenal, but like when he came on yesterday, I went, not bothered. Like I don't care. Like Eddie's not a threat.
Me both. No, but I think in reality, if Eddie's at a West Ham, Brighton won't buy him now because of Ferguson, but a West Ham or Wolves or Fulham, bro, he's slapping goals. I'm telling you, he's slapping goals. He's 100% slapping goals.
I think we need to see it. Like I think it's all well and good getting the nice contract to Arsenal, but for your career ambitions, innit? You're never going to be seen like that. But he's never going to be seen as that guy, innit? Like I said, he came on yesterday. Like I saw him get off the bench yesterday, and I was like, yeah.
No, but I'm thinking until Arsenal go out and actually say, we're getting another striker. He don't need to leave because he's always going to get his chance. He's always going to come on. He's always going to play certain games. And if Jesus gets injured, he's in. So,
and also that what you said there, Keith, isn't that just one of the things we care about as fans? Like, think about it from his point of view. Okay, I'm not playing every week, etc., but I'm playing Champions League. I'm playing for. If we win something, he's got a Prem medal, and he would have contributed enough. So I agree with you when I say stuff like, from the outside looking in, he should go and play.
Yeah,
I'm saying that as someone that wants to see someone of his talent banging goals in the Prem every week. But let's be honest here. Look at we got, especially the way the game is now with rotation and all of that. You're saying he's never going to be seen as that guy. But if I'm Eddie, I don't care.
Don't care. Look at that. We're talking about it. Champions League football at Arsenal, and I am playing. I am getting a few minutes here and there.
Yeah, I hear that. But
to go to Palace, that is long. Yeah, I'm gonna slap goals here and there.
But you'd be revered, innit? If you look at Zaha's revered, man.
No, but where has he gone to get some European football? Bro? He went
Yeah, but that
to-
was a contract thing, though, innit?
But
still,
listen,
if
and
no
Keith,
figure come in, he would have went. So European
yeah,
football, he would have went.
yeah. And the other thing is, well, Keith, you got to think about. Apparently, Arsenal rate him very highly. Arteta rates him very highly. So he's hearing that from Arteta, and
Yeah.
that's the only person he should be listening to.
Yeah,
He's
he
with
has
teammates that he
showed
loves.
glimpses.
Yeah, and Arteta loves him. I just think if Eddie was the guy somewhere every week, I'm the striker, I'm starting. I don't want to say anything mad, but I think you see a guy who scores 15 plus goals a season regularly, Prem goals as well, regularly.
Right.
I
Let's
think
see.
personally.
Well, we might see in a few years when he has to move on.
No, I think if we buy Toney or we buy
Maybe-
another striker, which I think we're going to do in the summer, his agents have got to be like, get out of there. He has to be.
Maybe Liverpool could come in for him.
You never know.
No,
I
I'd
don't
rather
think they'll
take
buy someone of
Solanke
that
back.
height.
I'll take Solanke back. Yeah.
All right. So we digressed a little bit from the Boly red card, but that's outrageous. We've talked about the Odegaard handball already. Ratcliffe at Manchester United. So this is, this saga. I think we're 13 months on from the original sort of announcement. I don't even know if it was an official announcement at the time, but the original, we're going to be selling the club or looking for investment to the club. Ratcliffe has paid, I believe, £1.3 billion, I believe it is, to take a 25% stake in Manchester United. And apparently buying that stake gives him footballing control. He's going to bring in a CEO as well. I have my views on what may happen, but what do we think? What do we think about this? What do we think? Is it a new dawn for Manchester United? Is it going to be a? What are you saying?
Bye, Ten Hag. I think I'm being real. I feel like
I agree.
We don't know what he's thinking about Ten Hag.
Yeah, I agree.
Don't know, and he's spent his big P's for that club, and I'm investing in this club, and I'm gonna buy players, and I'm giving like my resources and everything. And if I don't like this guy already, I've already said end of the season, I want him gone.
And even before then,
January, I want him gone. If we can locate someone, I like these guys. If we can get any of these guys in, I want him gone.
Well, and if we look at a parallel from his other club, which Nice in France, which is different, and he would have learned things from there. He came in, brought his own people, his own director of football, all of that stuff. And I just don't think Ten Hag has been given a good interview of himself, right? So this thing's been running on in the background. You're losing games. You've estranged a very, very big and expensive asset, right? So he's there costing us 1.2 million a month or whatever it is in wages. You've demoralized them, etc. And then you're not winning, right? You can't get the best out of Rashford. You've spent 400 or 500 million on those players under. I just think when you put all the factors on the table, if we get to January and the guy who's just spent all his money to invest in his new business says, I want to go my own direction, Eric Ten Hag cannot have an ounce of complaint. I'm sorry. Not one. I've heard every excuse for him. Oh, it's not the manager. You can't keep sacking managers. Yes, you can. He's brought in a lot of his own players. He's not done well with what he's got there, in my opinion. Okay, that's a lie. They won the League Cup last season. Where did they come last season? Second? Not second. No. The Champions League came third. But I agree. I think Ratcliffe comes in, and at worst, he's gone in Jan, so they can make use of the Jan transfer window, or he's gone in the end of the season.
Do you think he's been given enough time? I think he's been given enough time. I feel like he's shown tactically. He's bought his own players. He's tried to the players that he has, the young players that he's brought in. He's tried. I don't feel like he's the guy.
I agree. You know what? You see the time thing here. I always balance it with what have you been given. So, for example, you get in a club tomorrow, and I say you can only have 2 new players. For me, the time you need to be given is a little bit longer because you're working out with existing players. When you've been able to go in there and spend 450 plus million, bringing players across the whole spectrum. So you've brought in defenders, you've brought in midfielders, you've brought in attackers. The time you can be afforded isn't going to be as much as someone who's basically had to come in and work with what he's got. Right? Look at Ange. Ange has had to come in. Has he really bought that many players? Has he bought any? Did Ange buy any players? I don't think so. And he lost one of the best strikers in Premiership history. So, and it's not apples for apples, but I think he's been given. He can't complain if he gets fired tomorrow, in my opinion. That's my view. Keep?
Yeah, I agree. And the fact that the Glazers are not footballing people who didn't seem to invest in the footballing side, even with kind of like their directors of footballs and those kind of people that they've hired, like the guy that kind of led the
Edward Woods.
Yeah. And yeah, because they just got the wrong people around, did it? In terms of the footballing side, and all they cared about is money. Like, no matter where Man United are in the league, globally, they're gonna bring money in and bring the owners money. And the fact that they're giving controlling side for, I'll say, only 25%, shows that they were never interested in the football side. They're like, right, if we don't have to deal with this no more, here you go, like, take it. We're just going to reap the benefits of if the team start performing well. So the Glazers are happy as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I think Man United, this change, what's happened now at Man United might be the best thing that's happened to them in a while, because they've got this guy's a footballing guy, isn't it?
Not really. That's what, for me, it's going to be very interesting to watch, because all these other clubs, they've all got a bit higgy.
Compared to the Glazers, he's a footballing guy.
I would argue the Glazers had owned more sports teams than him, but yes, just compared to the Glazers, he's done more in football than them. He's got a team in Switzerland, and he bought Nice in France, who are second in the table at the moment. But that whole thing was rocky. That team signed Ross Barkley and Aaron Ramsey. I say no more. Right?
But you can sign them in the French league, though. You can sign a man in the league.
They were struggling. Now them lot have left. They're doing better. They were struggling. but you live and you learn, right? So to be fair, you're right. He went there they tried to run the team. It wasn't a Glazers thing. Here's some money. But one thing I will always say to my United fans is the Glazers, they've given them. The Glazers have bought players. They've bought managers.
Yeah. They backed him.
They've backed the team. So I think it'll be interesting to just see how Ratcliffe does with Manchester United, because if his niece and his other bits are to go by, then it's going to be interesting. And also, just from an experience point of view, I think he's making a bigger jump from that club to Man United than Ten Hag made from Ajax to Man United. Don't get me wrong, he runs one of the biggest businesses in the world, his main business, but this is football. It's different. It's really, really different.
And what might be a bit of a danger is that he's a football fan, innit? That's like, if I went into Liverpool now, I might just do a madness just because I'm a football fan. And yeah,
but if I went to Arsenal, I'm firing Arteta, bro. No, I'm joking.
You would never do that.
I'm joking.
Yeah, I think they got to be careful with that.
It could be a Todd Boehly situation.
No, only because he's actually run clubs before, and I'm sure he'll learn from Nice. Like I said, Nice are second now.
The fan side of him,
yeah,
he wants Man United back in the big time.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll throw money at him. I think he'll be smarter with the decisions and hold more control over the purse string. So, like, I don't know if you saw the Athletic article about the Man United signings this week. So all their summer signings, they had a value for them that was lower than the price that they actually ended up paying for. So, like, Mount, they valued him at like 35, 40 million. Even Højlund, they paid over the odds for. I think they valued him at like 50 max all in, like with all the add-ons and stuff. And even on Onana, like everyone they went for, they had a benchmark that they were aiming for, and they paid over the odds on all of them.
Imagine, and they all failed.
Mate,
Ten Hag has to go.
He has to. I think he has to go personally. I definitely. And the thing is, everyone forgets two things can be true. Yes, the upstairs needs fixing. But yes, the manager might also not have done as well as he could in this situation. So get rid of him. Like, and I hate talking about people losing their job like that, but getting rid of him means he gets a couple of million quid.
But I don't even agree when those fans here, they've got their own little gripe with the Glazers and that. Yeah, cool. I don't really know about it. That's their business. But you've got your manager. Your manager had free reign to sign who he wanted to sign. He even paid over the odds for it. So he could have got different players and could have got more players in with the extra money that he's gone and signed his players. He sold whatever players. He's tried to make his team. He signed enough players to change that team around and try and make the players that stayed better players. All that it looks like what happened was he come in, new manager, little lift, and done. That's it. But he brought in his players and they failed.
Yeah.
That's it.
And then you've fallen out with two players in that time. One player who, regardless of whatever his age or whatever, could have been he could have been a very useful ally for you in your early days of Manchester United, right? I think he could have played that. He could have played a bit more chess there. I think on principle he was right, but the way he executed was wrong. Again, the Jadon Sancho thing. I think on principle he was probably correct, but the way he executed it was wrong. You just lost to Arsenal. Why are you talking about a man that wasn't even at the stadium? What are we doing here?
Yeah.
Oh, but you asked me a question. Yeah, then you say I picked the players that I thought would win us the game, and they didn't. So let's talk about that. So yeah, I don't think he's got much of a leg to stand on anymore, personally. So yeah, I think we're gonna see for us non-Man United fans, I think there's more drama on the way. So yeah, long may it continue.
Yeah, 100%.
Long may it continue. Lastly, I think where are we now? We're about a week or so from Ivan Toney's return, right? What is there a specific date in
No,
January?
I think it's like the 16th of January or something like that.
Yeah,
It's after the FA Cup games. I know that.
All right, so we're 3 weeks or so away from Ivan Toney's return. Obviously, there's been a lot of speculation around him. I've got two questions really. Three actually. One, do we think he realistically leaves in January? Two, if he leaves, where should he go? We know who's been talked about him, but who should buy him? Who needs him? Yeah, I've got a list of about 4 teams that could do him, right? And 3, do you legitimately get a little discount on him now? So like he's not played for a while. You might, can I? He signed a new contract. I want to say last year. I'll double check. Can I be cheeky and say, plus his issue that he got caught for? I don't know if that's gone right. I've got to take that on as well. I don't know if the gambling thing's going to come back. So yeah, what do we think? One, does he realistically go in January?
No,
I don't think so.
I think it'll be tough. I think it'll be tough for everyone to work out.
It's risky because obviously we know what he's done previously, and he hasn't played for however many months now. So I think for anyone to sign him, it'll be hard to expect him to maintain the level.
You would want to see him.
Yeah, you want to see like what he can do for these last 5 months of the season.
Do you really have to? Seriously?
That's what I'm asking. Well,
I think you do, man. Like,
Nkunku was injured for how long?
Who's that? Sorry,
Nkunku was injured for however long. They knew that he was going to come back and he's going to do the business, isn't it?
we don't know he can do the business.
No, but I'm saying I'm sure he is going to come back and do decent. He's not going to just fall off like.
No, I don't think he will. But I think if you're a buyer, it's a risk, isn't it?
And Brentford want 100 million.
Yeah,
and they want 100 million.
Where the negotiations, I mean, he hasn't played for 5 months. We don't know what we're going to get.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but then look what he can do. Kind of it's like we've seen the numbers. Yeah, I think it'd be silly for Brentford to sell him just based on the fact that they know what he can offer to the team, and I think it would be risky for someone to buy him just in case it doesn't live up to the. Because like if you buy him now, how many goals are you expecting from him before the end of the season? For a
playing Arsenal team, 10 goals.
Yeah. Listen. So if you spent 40-50 million on him, how many goals do you want from him before the end of the season?
No, I want 15.
And this is it, 15 in half a season.
Bruv, he better come back on fire, bruv.
If he came back,
big money in January for the striker that everyone thinks is going to solve everything and win me the Prem. Do you know what it is? It ain't even about the goals. He needs to come in and affect this title race, isn't it? He needs to come in and affect the title race. He needs to come in and affect the Champions League, the games that we've got in there, and the FA Cup. He needs to do all of that.
I
A
think
lot of pressure, man. A lot of pressure.
I think there's a couple of things. So his contract ends in 2025. So actually, at the end of this summer, got 1 year left. Brentford don't want to be playing chicken with that situation. You've seen other teams get burnt recently. I think secondly, I think you're both right in the sense of the timeout, but Terrell, you're right. You know, people are injured for longer than they come back. But I do think it'll be interesting to see how he copes with coming back, because the reason why you're out makes a difference in like how you mentally handle it and stuff. If you're injured, you know, it happened. They're used to dealing with that almost as footballers. This kind of thing. And I remember when Rio got that long ban, etc., everyone was like, how's he going to be all right coming back? This kind of thing where you could have been playing, but for some reason, whether it's your fault or you got nabbed or you feel it's unfair, you haven't been. You've got all that frustration building up for months. So I think the difference with this is how has he mentally handled it? How's he going to mentally handle the comeback? I think he'll come back. I think he'll be fine.
I think he's going to be firing.
Yeah, I think he's going to be firing. I don't think
I think he will. He's talented, isn't it? So
yeah. And Mbeumo's injured now, isn't he? Like decent injuries. Had to have an operation. So, yeah.
He's missing the African nations, isn't he?
Yeah, so he's out till Feb, so minimum Feb March. So you're not selling Toney. So yeah, I think
because I was gonna say like Brentford are kind of around mid-table, kind of lower, kind of on the lower side of mid-table, but they've done well. They're not going to get relegated, I don't think. You just said Mbeumo got injured, but Mbeumo and Wissa, they do dope up front together. If I'm Brentford, I'm thinking, do you know what? How we're doing now, we're doing well. We're doing okay. I think still in the back of their mind is always going to be no relegation. Stay in the Prem. Stay in the Prem. It's not going to be that now, isn't it? So if we did get a bid of a 50 million, can we just add to our squad to a guy that hasn't been here all season?
But they bought a striker. I'm just trying to look in their squad. They bought a striker for decent money as well.
Add to the squad that's already been playing the whole season.
Yeah, they're preparing for life after him. They bought a striker. I'm trying to find his name. Is it Jensen? They bought a striker.
Okay, that's good. Great him coming back, and he's probably going to be firing because he wants to be in the England's side, and that sort of stuff. So he's going to be firing. But then next season, you're going to have to deal without. You're going to have to be without him now. You know he's going to leave. You know he wants to go. But you've done it already. You've done it. Start of the season to January, you've done it. And you've coped and you've done well. So why not? Let's just cash in now. And bring it.
You could look ahead. Yeah, I hear that.
I just don't think they'll do it. And the people that run that club as well, they're very data driven, very analytical. They'll put up his stats and be like, I'm sorry, you could not get another striker in the market that does what he does for less than the money we're asking you. You cannot.
The only thing that makes me think that they probably might keep him till the summer is that if he comes back and bangs, that's just adding money on.
Exactly.
Adding money on it.
Keep me in the Prem, and that 100 million I want or whatever it is, I'm definitely getting it this summer.
If he doesn't,
yeah, it's a jeopardy they got to take, because then you get to the summer, he's only got 1 year left,
and he didn't bang. He scored 3 goals. he scored 3 goals.
Yeah. Then the whole thing.
If he scores 3 goals, he's not going to the Euros, is he? So he needs to score.
Yeah. I think
go to the Euros now. Now people are looking at him thinking, "Nah, I'm paying 30."
To be honest, when I think about teams that should try and buy him, I think there's a long list. Yeah. So if I look at the Premiership right now, I think we should try and buy him.
Arsenal and Liverpool could buy him.
But Newcastle.
Well, Liverpool won't though, because we've got 5 strikers, 5 attackers.
You're not going to.
Manchester United and Newcastle should be in the queue, bro. They should be in the queue. 100% they should be. And Chelsea. Yeah, Chelsea should be in the queue.
100%. Chelsea 100%. Arsenal 100%.
Yeah.
Newcastle, they should, but
they're definitely buying another striker.
You know what? Even Tottenham
100%.
They should be, but they won't. Richarlison, 60 million, was starting to get the money out of him. Son is their number 9 now.
Yeah, Richarlison.
Son goes back on the
put
left.
Son back out left and put Toney up front. I think that's a good sign.
But but they're not doing 100 million. They're not spending that money. So it's going to be interesting to see where he ends up. Very, very interesting. But I think what is he now? 26,
26, 27.
So, yeah, good time, man. I think for me, he comes back. If I could write the story, he comes back. He bangs goals. He goes to the Euros, does a bit, and then he's holding an Arsenal shirt at the beginning of August.
I'm telling you something. Imagine you come back, you're him. You come back, and Arsenal submit a bid for you. Now you at Arsenal, top of the table, Arsenal, and they're saying, "Come and you're gonna be the man." Jesus
You're gonna
there,
sack,
but you are the man. Now he can bang goals at Arsenal in the league. He's 100 million% going to the Euros.
Yeah. What you said? You're gonna
football. If he bangs, imagine he bangs in the Champions League in the knockout stages, bro. I'm looking at my agent and I'm saying, yo,
what are you doing if you're him? What are we saying? Are we in strike territory? Are we like Peter on the wheel?
Nah, because Brentford have backed him. Like,
I
don't think he would do that. He doesn't.
I'm having a word. I'm having a word.
But yeah,
I'm having a word.
All right, listen, boys. It's always been a pleasure. As always, please like, comment, and subscribe. Everyone have a fantastic Christmas for those of you who celebrate. Otherwise, enjoy the bank holidays and the days off. And we'll see you in the new year. Let us know how the new format worked. If it was all right. We don't need to get together and I don't need to see these mugs every Sunday. Let me know. Apart from that, boys, enjoy your Christmas. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.
Peace.